How's it going, everybody? I'm Lewis. It's October and we've got a new month ahead post from the Old School RuneScape team. This is covering all the updates that they've got planned this month, and it looks like it's going to be quite interesting. So let's start off with the Oriana altar. Obviously this was a big piece of content that recently passed its poll. It was a piece of content that was released in the other RuneScape in 2007, just after the cutoff date to Old School RuneScape. It allows runecrafters to create a selection of random runes and get double the amount of experience they would usually get if they were to create the regular rune by itself. Meaning that you get random runes, but you get more XP, so you get a compromise between money and XP. For anyone who's familiar with this runecrafting method, and they are thinking, what's changed between RuneScape 3 and Old School RuneScape, there is a small change with Enola. You still have to pay 20 of a type of rune to access your bank, however they're going to be using a slightly different interface to make it a lot easier for you to get into your bank. Moving on, we've got Halloween 2016. This year's Halloween event will be in Lumbridge Swamp, where a woman has found a dying man. When we talk to her, we'll find out about a killer who's taken several lives in the nearby houses, and she's going to be asking us for some help to prevent the deaths of her friends who are in danger. So this year we'll be tasked with stopping this killer in their tracks. When we finish the event, we will obviously get a few rewards. This year they're introducing killer robes and mask, and a new skin colour, which to me looks like it is the green we've already got in game. However, from the most recent developer Q&A, they were polling a Port Phasmatis style blue, which I believe this colour is meant to be. It's kind of hard to see a tiny little dot on the forums and try and work out what the players get meant to look like. But really, what they showed on the developer Q&A not too long ago is what I assume they were talking about. As well as that, we're going to get all of the previous Halloween event rewards, which are quite a lot. I'm not going to go through all of them. I have done that sort of thing in the past, but it's sort of been quite long in the video. But obviously you can see there are a lot of Halloween rewards out there now. We've had, 3 Halloweens in Old School RuneScape? In fact, no, this will be the 4th Halloween in Old School RuneScape. So there are plenty of Halloween event items that you can get, and they're just quite fun to have in game. As well as that, they'll be doing a few live stream events. As always with Old School RuneScape holidays, they'll be hosting community event live streams throughout the season. This allows you to grab some extra Halloween goodies, mostly in the form of tradable Halloween items. And when it's Christmas, obviously Christmas items, Easter items, etc. So we'll be getting the hide and seek streams that we saw a long time ago when they originally introduced what we would call rares, but obviously they're not rare in Old School RuneScape. And hopefully these will be very interesting to watch and participate in. As well as that, if you've got any ideas for an interesting stream that they could do, let them know, because they would love to do it. Anything that can involve the community, and especially around now for Halloween, anything that's Halloween related will be really good for them to do. Next, the Kourend rework. And this is something I'm actually quite excited about, because when I look at the current Great Kourend, I get quite sad, because it looks like they've just gone for quantity of content as opposed to quality of content. However, this will hopefully fix that. So this is Mod West's new Great Kourend, and I believe a lot of it is based off Gentle Tractor's redesign, and I believe they mentioned they were actually working with Gentle Tractor to create the final design of Great Kourend and potentially all of Zeah. They've added a new castle at the central statue of the city, and I think when you look at it on the map, it actually looks a lot better. It really brings the fact that this is one city together. I still feel that it's really 5 different villages, towns, /cities with one central kingdom, like you have Lumbridge and Varrock are all under the Kingdom of Misthalin. But like I said, this is a much better improvement than the current Great Kourend. I also like the new Piscarilius, and the edges of the map look a lot more natural, particularly with that river flowing through the Hosidious house area. As well as that new castle, we can see there is a new Shazian outpost placed here. It took me a while to find, but yeah, it looks like it might be quite interesting. I'm not entirely sure if they've got any purpose to this outpost at the moment. I feel like it will have a bit more significance because they are pointing it out. But potentially they're just saying, look, they've added a few more buildings and it's a lot more varied than it originally was. Because if you think of this current Great Kourend, especially the Shazian area, I feel, it's very copy-paste, lots of tents, lots of buildings, they're all the same, very samey, and it's very hard to navigate. I just get up a map when I'm in Zeah. I've not been to Zeah much, but I just get up a map and just go directly where I want to go. And I just try and avoid all of that stuff. Because navigating through what essentially is just copy-pasted the same thing constantly, you can't do it. It's impossible because it just looks all the same. So you just need a map to go exactly where you want to go. These improvements to Zeah will hopefully be so nice. I think with this and then the final releases of, the other expansion of Zaya, so we get the full continent, will make it look a lot better. I will admit I feel that especially Shazian, Lovekenge and Arceus areas, and maybe the corner of the Host Sidious area, could do with a little bit more improvement. However, at the moment it's fine, and when we've got the rest of the continent, we'll be able to decide whether that would be a good idea or not. I think it would be worth pushing them to improve it a little bit more. Obviously there is a lot of content they have to change in certain bits, and I feel that this redesign is trying to keep a lot of the content fixed because they don't want to have to reprogram certain parts. However, I think quality content is worth it, so I don't think they should complain too much when they're here to make a good game, because that's what it is. Old School RuneScape is a community game, it's a game for the players, and we want to have a good game. Obviously they're looking at it from more of a business point of view, and of course why wouldn't they? But I'm sure they want to have an interesting game. They're all RuneScape players, or at least most of them have had decent amount of RuneScape experience. They want RuneScape to be good. That's why they're working on it. However, they just get the business side thrown onto them a bit too much sometimes, and I feel that it can ruin the gameplay a bit too much. But obviously, with it being a community game, Old School RuneScape is probably the best games for content made by the community, and good content for that. I do have something to say about Old School RuneScape content, and I'd love for more of it to get redesigned. However, I feel that right now that's probably not the best time to talk about that extensively. But yeah, to sum up, the Great Kourend rework should be good. Finally, we've got the Raids progress. This is one of the biggest updates ever come to Old School RuneScape, and in October it's going to be well underway. As well as that, they're making tons of progress for it to release later this year. So, whilst it looks like Raids won't be coming out this month, and possibly even not even November, they will be working a heck of a lot on it, and they're going to give us a lot of information about Raids, possibly some polls, definitely devlogs, and I imagine plenty of Let's Design Raid streams. This entire month looks like it's going to be great. It's got some massive things ahead of it. If you've got any feedback for the Old School RuneScape team about them, let them know on the forums, or if you want to discuss them with me, do so in the comments below. Raids progress should be interesting. I kind of want to see how that goes. I've had a bit of a big rant about the Great Kourend rework. I think that will be amazing. I'm quite interested about the Halloween 2016 event. I've always loved the RuneScape holiday events. The only problem is it kind of feels that, spoiler alert, can't confirm this, but my theory is that this woman who's been finding dead bodies and worried about her friends might be the murderer, or potentially, to make it a bit more Halloween-y, they're going to have a supernatural presence doing the killing, and she's just poor innocent. But I'm going to go ahead and say that she's probably the murderer. Sorry if that is actually the story and I've spoiled it, but that's just a small theory that I've been thinking of. And finally, the first thing we talked about, the Oriana altar. If you go back and watch my poll videos, you know I didn't vote for it. However, I feel that this can be quite balanced in Old School RuneScape. However, like you might have felt on my poll and developer blog videos, it shouldn't be balanced, because we do have alternative methods in Old School RuneScape. Click here to watch my video on the latest Old School RuneScape update, the Hill Giant Boss. And if you want to watch my video on the update before that, please click here for the Jewel Arena improvements. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with the Old School RuneScape updates, death blocks and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.